Hi, welcome to Open Door Yoga. My name is Michelle and this is a floor yoga class. So all of the postures are going to be more restorative or recovery based in nature, and they will be very close to the ground. So because of that, you may want to consider having some type of a comfort prop with you. I have a yoga blanket, but any household blanket or towel would do. You may want to consider even having a stack of blankets or a stack of towels if you're feeling a little bit tight in your low back, outer hips, or even hamstrings. We will be doing some seated postures where you may want a little bit of a lift. We also may want this comfort prop as a cushion. If you're on a hard surface like me, when we spend some time on the floor on our knees, we might just want to have something to make our practice a little bit more comfortable. So for now, you can set your prop off to the side. We're going to get started in hero's pose. So if you're seated on the mat like me, rock on over. We're going to come into a kneeling position. So bring your knees to touch, your toe mounds to touch, and then the tops of your feet flat to the mat. And then when you're here in this position, you can begin to walk your hands back, bringing your weight and your hips over your heels. Your heels were kind of V out to make a little bit of a seat for you. As you arrive, if this is very uncomfortable, you could bring a seat to bring your hips up a little bit higher. So you could spread your feet out just a bit and maybe bring a stack of blankets or even a yoga block to make this position or this posture a little more comfortable in your body. If you're experiencing a lot of pain in your knees, one thing that you could do is just take this whole beginning posture as an easy seat. And you can do the same kind of warm up that we're doing in a comfortable seat. Once you find the posture that feels best in your body, you can keep your gaze open or maybe close it down or lower it towards the mat. Begin to bring awareness to your breath. Notice the physical sensations in your body. See if you can track your breath as it moves in your nose or in through your mouth. As you feel it pass into your lungs, maybe even feeling parts of your belly expand. And allow that to bring your awareness to your whole physical body. Feel yourself grounded here, present on the mat and at this practice. And begin to invite some gentle movement in your body. You could take some really simple shoulder rolls here. You could draw some small circles with your nose to bring a little bit of stretching into your neck. Take what feels good in your body. If you've been sitting at a desk typing all day, it might feel good to stretch out your wrists. Maybe even give yourself a little massage. Use your thumbs to press into your palms. We rarely think about massaging our hands. Take a moment to notice what your body needs to really get settled in here. Then as you're ready, we're going to bring our arms behind our back, palms to touch, interlock our fingers, send your knuckles down and away from your body. Begin to feel a little bit of opening through the tops of your shoulders. Full breath in, nice tall spine. And exhale, send your gaze past your left shoulder. Inhale, return back to center. And exhale, take it to the right. Move with your breath. Really keeping your awareness on not only the breath, but how the physical sensations in your body change. So where you're noticing a little bit of stretching, where you're noticing your body start to release maybe a little bit of tension from your day. Let's take one more gaze past each shoulder. Come back to your comfortable hero's pose. Check in with how your body is feeling right now. If you're noticing that this position is getting a little bit uncomfortable, make any adjustments that you need to, or maybe make your way to an easy seat. Wherever you are, on your next inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up and overhead. And exhale, gentle twist to the left. So right hand can come to your left knee, left hand comes behind. Shoulders are still relaxing down, away from our ears. One more full breath in here. Release that breath completely. And then inhale, unwind, come back to center. We'll take it to the other side. Inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. And exhale, twist to the right. So left hand comes to your right knee, right hand can come to rest behind. The twist comes from our core. So we're not pulling and yanking on our body today. Shoulders stacked over our hips. One more full breath exchange. And then on your next inhale, unwind, come back to center. From this hero's pose, we're going to make our way onto hands and knees. So we're just going to rock our body forward, bring our hands down to the mat, wrists under elbows, elbows under shoulders, knees under hip points. Toes can be tucked or untucked here. And on your next breath in, begin to tilt your tailbone up. And as your belly drops, pull your shoulders back to send your heart space forward and up. Gaze can lift. Uttanasana cow pose. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone, round through your spine, press away from the earth, crown drops. Marjarasana cat pose. Now flow with your breath. Allow your inhales to send you into cow pose and your exhales to send you into cat pose. Let your breath guide your movement here. One more time into cow. Feel that widening between your collarbones. And one more time into cat. Feel that sensation, that stretch between your shoulder blades. And then we'll come back to hands and knees. From here, cross at your ankles, and we're going to send our weight back over into a comfortable seat. And from this comfortable seat, we're going to make our way into a nose to knee pose. So if you'd like, feel free to grab your blanket or stack of blankets. Bring it under your sitting bones to bring your hips up a little bit higher than your knees. From this spot, we're going to extend our right leg long. Keep our left knee bent with the sole of our left foot close to that inner lining of our right thigh. Full breath in here, nice tall spine. And exhale, fold at your hips, bringing your hands down to the mat. Our focus here is on having a nice tall spine. So instead of as the pose kind of describes, drawing your knee down towards your nose down towards your knee. Instead, try to visualize reaching your heart space towards your big toe. And if you're finding that folding is just really uncomfortable in your low back, maybe bring your hands behind you and you can press into your fingertips just to practice keeping this nice tall spine, or maybe hinging just slightly at those hips, reaching your heart space forward. Just be here for a couple more breaths. One more full inhale, full exhale. Inhale, nice long spine. And exhale, begin to twist. So we're about to stack our left shoulder on top of our right. You can keep your right hand resting on the outside of your right leg, and then we're going to send our left arm up and overhead. Notice how the sensation in our body might shift a little bit. So whereas we might have just felt it more in our central low back, hamstrings, you may now really be feeling it in your low back. And if that's the case, you're welcome to rise out of this posture to find where this feels best in your body. Keep opening up through that heart space. So if you're finding that you're collapsing here, which is really easy to do, rise on up. Nice neutral neck. On your next inhale, we're going to rise up, plant our left hand, roll up onto our left knee with our right leg still extended long. Right arm sweeps up and overhead. From here, plant your hand or your palm on the back of your head. Begin to open up your heart space towards the sky. Your gaze will naturally follow. So no tension in our neck. One more full breath exchange here. Inhale, unwind, press into your left palm to rise on up. And exhale, gate pose. So left arm sweeps up and overhead, left knee is stacked under our left hip point. Right arm is just gently resting on our right leg. We're keeping this lifting sensation through our right side body. Breathe into that left rib cage. Notice that expansion through your left side body. Inhale, rise on up. Exhale, turn our entire body to face the front of the room. So we're coming into a low lunge. Take any adjustments that you need. If you're down here onto the mat, begin to open up through your chest. So you can come up to fingertips. You could bring your hands to a support surface, or you could bring your hands to rest gently on your thigh. We're sending our hips forward and down, pulling those shoulders back, lifting our heart space. One more full breath in here. And exhale, begin to extend through our right leg. Sitting bones are going to begin to lift, almost like you're trying to sit on the wall behind you. You can rock on your right heel so that your right toes point up towards the sky. Nice long spine. Again, come back to that image of sending your heart towards your big toes. If you have a slight bend here in your right knee, that's okay. I do not have super flexible hamstrings, so I typically have a slight or more than slight bend in that front knee. One more full breath in. Exhale, plant the top of your foot down onto the mat and begin to sink back. You can drag that right heel back as well into this half hero's pose that we started with, half leg extended posture. If this is way too much in your body, come up to a lift or come back to that initial posture where your foot was on the inside lining of your leg. We're just going to take a few breaths here. Shoulders stacked over hips, ears over shoulders, shoulders relaxing down away from our ears. One more full breath in, full breath out. Begin to rock onto your right hip so that you can bring your left leg comfortably back out in front of you. Come into a staff pose for just a moment. Palms pressing down into the earth. Strong core. Got to use our core a little bit here today. Shoulders still reaching down away from our ears. From here, we're going to take it to the other side. I'm going to switch sides of my mat just so that you can see me a little bit better, but you can keep facing the same direction. Begin to extend your left leg long, bending into your right knee. And if you'd like to have your lift with you again, feel free to grab it or bring it under our sitting bones, bringing those hips up a little bit higher. Makes it easier to fold, especially if you have any tightness in that low back area. Full inhale to create a tall, long spine. Exhale, fold at your hips. So hands come to rest wherever it is most comfortable. Maybe they're down here closer to your feet. Maybe they're up here closer to your thigh. Maybe they're behind you, pressing into your fingertips. We want to find the support that feels best in our body, that allows us to not only try to begin to hinge over, but also open up through our chest. So if you are folded forward and finding a lot of rounding into your back, take a step back. Meet your body where it's at today. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, really reach that crown away from your sitting bones. And exhale, begin to twist. So right shoulder stacks on top of your left. Send that right arm up and overhead. Notice where you feel this sensation in your body. And maybe on this side, we send our breath to help give us a little bit of support. So if you're feeling this posture a lot in your low back, send your breath to your low belly. Nice full inhales. Release that breath completely to make room for new breath, new energy, new love. Remember, you have options here. One more full breath exchange. And on your next inhale, rise on up, plant your right hand. We're going to pivot here to rise up onto this right shin. Sweep your left arm up and overhead. Bring your palm to the back of your head. Begin to shine your sternum or your breastbone up towards the sky. Gaze follows. Long neck. Inhale, unwind from this twist. Rise on up and exhale, gate pose. So our hip is stacked over our right knee. We're not shifting over to the left. Keeping our chest open, shoulders down away from our ears. Right shoulder blade is still back on our back body. Inhale, rise on up. And exhale, begin to turn your whole body to face that front edge of your mat, or for me, the back edge. Get adjusted. Make your way into that low lunge. So your back knee, or your back toes rather, could be tucked or untucked. We're opening up through our chest, sliding those shoulders down and in on our back body. If it feels good, you could even sweep your arms up and overhead. You'll feel a little bit more sensation in that hip flexor. Full breath in here. And exhale, straighten through that left leg, rock on your left heel. Send those sitting bones up, just like you're trying to sit on that wall behind you. If your fold is not significant here, that's okay. You could come up to fingertips. You could even bring your hands up to your thigh or up to a support surface. If you're noticing that you're really trying to fold and you're starting to bail out of the posture by turning to the right, that's okay. Acknowledge that in your body, and then intentionally pull your left thigh bone back into your hip socket. And it's going to bring the sensation right back into your hamstring. Don't you worry. One more full breath in here. Exhale, plant the top of your foot down on the mat. Slowly sit back, drag that left heel into our half hero's pose on this side. Check in with your body. If you're someone who's experiencing arthritis or some type of damage or disease to your knee joint, this may not be a great option for you, and that's okay. Come back to that first posture where our knee was bent and our foot was in front of us, or come to an easy seat. Make this practice your own. Shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. One more full breath exchange. And then roll or rock onto that left hip. Slowly bring that right foot back around. And we're going to make our way to our comfortable seat. If you want to grab your lift, you're more than welcome to do so. Bring it right there under your hips. Otherwise, you can join me right here on mat. Find that nice tall spine. So shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Feel that core light up a little bit, and allow your shoulders to relax down away from your ears. Come back to your breath. Release your arms down by your side. On your next inhale, arms sweep up and overhead, palms to touch. And exhale, slowly draw your hands down through this midline to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.